The Florida Panthers and GM Bill Zito just made a very sneaky yet solid signing of a player they claimed off of waivers, and they're really familiar with him. And they're trying to build on that depth with Tkachuk being out. God damn it. The Florida Panthers and Bill Zito just made a very sneaky and solid move by claiming a player off of waivers that they are actually very familiar with. They're trying to add to that depth with Tkachuk being out and Barkov being out, as well as Tomas and Nosek. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. I'm your host, Greg Andrews. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right there down below. You guys need to stay up to date with anything and everything that has to do with your back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. A little change in attire today, guys. I finally got my jersey. I ordered this a long time ago. So happy that I got it in. Yep, I'm repping the Marchie. And I love this jersey. I'm going to wear it every single time there's a game if it's not 1,000 degrees. Definitely rep it when I go to Amerant Bank Arena to catch the live games. Exciting season. So this episode is going to be circling about what are these Panthers doing. They're still adding to this roster. He might not be coming right off the, be an addition to the immediate roster for that bottom six, but a good addition nonetheless. Here he is. Florida claims Cole Schwindt off of waivers. And if you guys remember, in order to get Matthew Tkachuk, he was part of the package of Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar, and draft capital that went to the Flames in order to get Matthew Tkachuk back in 2022. I'd say it paid off pretty well for the Panthers. And here you go. This is a little bit from Bill Zito. He's a versatile forward whose style of play we're very familiar with. We're pleased to have him back in our organization. So, like I said, part of that package. Hasn't played a lot in the NHL, but again, Bill Zito brought him in for a reason. He's familiar with him. I think he knows that he could fill in some holes. I mean, he's a pretty big guy, around 6'2", 6'3", 210 pounds, 24 years old, played last season in Vegas, didn't put up the most eye-popping of stat lines, but still a pretty decent season for a guy who's a bottom six player, but is really out there to throw his body around. I mean, last season for the Vegas Knights, he ended up having 42 games, producing 1 goal, 7 assists, that's 8 total points, 41 hits, and a +3 rating. So it's sneaky because, again, he could shore up one of those bottom line positions if need be on that fourth line. The good news, too, is that he can actually play not just center, but forward as well. So that's really good. So again, 6'2", 6'3", 210 pounds, projectable frame, offensive chops at the lower level, can shoot the puck pretty well at the NHL level, so that's good. But more of that big body to be out there when needed to throw it around and scrap with some of the other guys from the other teams. So the couple of things that are not great about him, he does lack consistency. You know, he's a very high energy forward. And again, good two-way depth. And that's exactly what this team is looking for right now. I think after what Bill Zito and Paul Maurice saw in the last game with the lineup that they had, they need to find someone who, again, two-way player. One of the things I am noticing is they're trying to find guys, even on the defensive front for defensemen, they're trying to find guys who have the ability to be a solid two-way player. Obviously, the defenseman will focus more at the blue line and not really throwing the puck in the back of the net, but guys that can kind of do it all, that can be assist men, that can really put more into that back check and that forecheck, and even a neutral ice, create turnovers that will lead to odd man opportunities for the Panthers to hopefully score, because they really thrived on that. If you really want to take a look at last season, in the postseason especially, they thrived on a lot of those odd man opportunities, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens. Again, not the biggest and craziest signings, but a smart one, I think, for Bill Zito and the Florida Panthers, because again, adding to that depth, this is going to be huge. And he's played 218 American Hockey League games between the Calgary Wranglers and the Charlotte Checkers, as well as the Syracuse Crunch. He has 110 points, 48 goals, 62 assists, was named AHL Rookie of the Month for the month of December in 2021, after registering 10 points, 2 goals, 8 assists in just 8 contests. So again, went to the OHL as well, played there for a little bit, And I want to show you guys a really quick video on some of his highlights. Now, there's the one goal he had last season with Vegas was an empty netter. That's in there. But the highlights you're going to see at the end of it are from the OHL. But take a look. He does have some talent. A good defensive play by the Golden Knights, and he just put it in the back of the net. But look at the move right there. I mean, he has talent. He's a good skater. He has the ability to snipe the puck past the goaltender. I mean, not a good, the stuff right there is kind of hard to see what he's done. But in OHL, he's put up some solid numbers. He is a good two-way player. I like the signing. I think it's going to do a lot for the Cats moving forward, especially if he doesn't make the 18-man roster right now. But as they might be rotating players out in that fourth line, depending on health, what have you, somebody's not performing. And we're going to get to what the lines might look like tonight. And then moving forward with Lundell being out for this game tonight against the Lightning, there's been a pretty big shakeup with the lines. But let's keep looking at Cole Schwindt. Like I said, it says 6'2", 203 pounds right here, but he's really a little bit bigger than that. It says right wing, but he's actually center/right wing. So these are all of his stats, guys. So again, not the worst player out there for them to pick up. It's a steal. He's not 23, he's 24. This is a little bit older, but I think he can add to the depth of this team. Again, they need guys that are going to be some power punchers, will throw the body out there, play good defense, be willing to sacrifice. And again, he had some good blocks. He's had a lot of hits. He's willing to put and sacrifice his body for his team. So I do like that a lot by him. And here are some of his numbers, again, ranging back from being in the OHL and then moving up. You could see the Charlotte Checkers. He played 72 games, 19 goals, 21 assists in the 2021-22 season. Came to the Panthers, only played 3 games, didn't do a whole lot there. But you can see he went back down, 70 games, 14 and 18, been back and forth a lot from the NHL to the AHL. And again, I think Bill Zito knows what he's doing. Build on that depth, see where he can fit him in. If somebody's not performing up to par, bring up the next guy. That's how this is going to work right now with Tkachuk being out until at least December, with Barkov being out for what he said, by the way, when he went to the Heat practice and he told Eric Spoelstra he expects 5 to 6 months only of being out. But again, it's not for him to decide. The doctors are going to be the ones deciding that. So I would say probably err on the side of caution to make sure that he is going to be 100% ready to go if he does come back this season. But I don't think they're going to try to push it unless they need that extra bump up with his two-way play. But what kind of shape is he going to be in? That remains to be seen. It's very early after the surgery. Let's not even contemplate on that. So let's take a look at the lines for tonight, guys. These are the potential lineups. Look at the shakeup. Sammy, Bennett, Marchand, Verhaeghe, Lustranian, Reinhart, Bovquist, Rodriguez, Kunin, and Gadjevich, Studnicka, Gregor, and Greer. That's really interesting. I mean, without Lundell there, look at that massive shakeup. I think it'll be a very, very, I'm going to say interesting, but kind of an exciting night. See how this experiment kind of goes and moves forward. Maybe this works out really well. And when Lundell comes back, yeah, maybe you do put that Lustranian, Marchand, Lundell line back together, but maybe you do Samoskevich, Bennett, and Verhaeghe and do a little shake-up and put Rodriguez on the third line. I mean, who knows? But there's a method to this madness right now. As I just stated, I think the reason why Bill Zito's bringing him in is he and Paul Maurice saw something the other night in that fourth line that they really didn't like. I'm not saying didn't like, but thought, hey, we need to add to our depth. We need to be able to rotate players in right now. I think those top 3 lines are pretty solidified, but the bottom one is the one where we're going to see some shakeups continuously for the next couple of months until Tkachuk comes back. Then we'll see a little more solidarity, consistency in that fourth line, and with all of the lines in general, barring, hope not, any injuries or anything. But it's the game of hockey. They happen all the time, guys. I'm not going to look too much into it. But anyways, so that is the exciting news. Good signing by the Panthers. Is it the biggest name in the world? Absolutely not. But the good thing is, it's a guy they know. It's a name they're familiar with because he was on the Panthers squad. Didn't play a lot, but heck, he's had some time to adjust to the league, to practice, hone his skills, and I think he's going to do the same thing now that he's back with the Panthers organization. Again, I think Bill Zito sees something in him that they could work on, build on, and they're also getting him for $850,000. So it's a steal. They're not trying to shoot way above the cap. I don't really think they're going to use the full $10 million for Barkov because from what he says, if they're anticipating him coming back a little early, tread water, just stay afloat right now. Don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be, $8-9 million over the cap when Barkov does come back, when Tkachuk comes back. Then you got to start cutting players. You got to start trading guys. You got to start, just a mess of the salary cap situation. So I don't think that they are going to be making moves unless it looks dire for Barkov not being back the whole season. But again, I don't think we're going to know probably until December or January the reality of the situation with Barkov. Too early after the surgery, we're not going to know anything. If anybody's had a knee injury, you already know that the process in terms of starting to figure out the strength building, doing all these different exercises that become a lot more rigorous to make sure there's good flexibility in the knee, range of motion. That's super important first, and then you start building on the strength. Then you start building on like the full range of motion and everything when it comes to hockey and the movements associated with the sport. Pretty tough to do. It's time consuming, but I know Barkov's going to work his butt off. He's going to try to be ready for the season, but again, I don't think they're going to rush. Unless they get some great news from the doctors, they're not going to rush him. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining me again. I'm looking forward to more videos moving forward. Again, big date, October 7th. They're going to be raising the banner. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. Tape the episode. I don't know how I'm going to be able to keep it forever, but I kind of want to. Big night. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below.